My name's Gail Wallace, and I've had the honour of working with the Public Health and NHS team for these past couple of months, and with the residents here to get us to this point. And this is the first community voting day in Tower Hamlets, in this part of Tower Hamlets. I'm going to go through some briefing in a minute, but I will start with introducing you to Mimi from Public Health, who's just going to give a little introduction to today.
Thanks, Gail. I'll keep it really quick because we want to get down to the business which everyone's here for, which is to hear about all the great projects that some of you are going to pitch, and then have the opportunity to vote on which ones you want to see funded and run in Barkantine. So, as Gail said, this is part of a programme called Communities Keeping Well. It's really a joint initiative with the council, with the NHS, with you, the residents, with local organisations, all trying to work together to support people, to support residents, to improve your health and well-being. So really important to remember when you're listening to the pitches, do you think this will help you to improve your health and well-being, or someone that you know? Ultimately, we would love to see this help people reduce their risk of developing conditions like diabetes or heart disease. We know that that's a long journey, but better mental health, better physical health, just being more active, being more connected in your community, all really helps people to stay healthy and well. So that's really the driving force behind this. And you, as you know what works best for you in order to stay healthy. So hopefully there will be something for everyone amongst all these projects, but do vote for the ones that you think will impact you the most, and or your family members. And thank you so much for coming today. I know it's miserable weather outside, so really great to see so many people in the room. And just to say as well that the projects that are going to be pitched are really speaking to some of the priorities which were identified by members of the Barkantine community over previous events. So it's great to see some familiar faces from those of you who were able to make it to, we had a World Cafe event earlier in the year for residents to come together and talk about your health and wellbeing priorities. We had another workshop with stakeholders and residents to talk about how those priorities could be addressed. And now we're at the stage where people are taking all those ideas and pitching projects to you. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I just wanted to introduce Daniel, who's been an invaluable support as our co-host for the project, and he can introduce the rest himself further.
Thank you, Mimi. My name's Daniel. I started a community network called the Unity Network. I live literally just down the road. We did it as part of not understanding or not knowing what was going on in the area. There's loads of things happening, there's loads of groups, there's loads of networks, services in the area that we just don't know about enough. So I took it upon myself to try and gather all of that information and start getting it out to residents, promoting all the great things that are here. And it led down this path as well. So where we hold community festivals, we did it with the likes of Communities Keeping Well, talking to all the residents and then finding that there's a lot of gaps in the services, and there's a lot of people that actually have a lot of skills that they want to showcase. So this is a great way of doing that stuff. They're actually going to be giving out funds to help with these projects to happen. That just brings more activities into the area. With us, you'll be linking with us where we're connected to the different spaces here, so we'll be able to show you not just what's going on in the area, but also helping you bring new activities to the area as well. So, everyone that's pitching today, amazing that you've done it. It's not an easy thing to do. So well done for just turning up and looking to stand up in front of a bunch of people. Honestly, I don't do this on a daily basis. I might pretend like I do, but so just well done for that. And people that haven't done it this round, there's going to be another round as well. So please don't be like feel that this can't happen again. This is just a starting block for something great that's happening in this community. So yeah, thank you for taking part and coming today.
you. So, let's begin. You've all waited for this moment. I'm just going to go through a few things to ensure that it runs as smoothly as possible. The first thing is, we all have phones, most of us have phones. It's quite nerve-wracking for people to stand up here and to present, so I'm going to ask you kindly to switch your phones off so that it doesn't disturb people who are presenting and put them off of their stride. If you have carer needs in which you must have your phone on, could you please ensure that it is on silent and that it only vibrates? And if it does vibrate, please take that call outside of this room and deal with that as quickly as possible. We don't want to put anyone off of their speech.
Hello, I'm just going to translate quickly. Please off career and so the phone on Koralage, please silent to your phone.
She said that a lot quickly, more quickly than I could. Well done. So we have got toilet facilities on this floor. There's one unisex toilet and there's also a toilet downstairs for the use. We're not expecting a fire drill, so if the fire alarm does go off, please exit at the nearest exit point, and we will meet over by the Havana Road sign. Take your most precious possession with you, which is you. Everything else is insurable, and meet us over here. Even if we're going to finish 5 minutes, in 5 minutes' time, I still need to count your heads and make sure you're safe. Okay. I keep forgetting. Fire is quite important. Yeah.
Kunu fire drill expected na yaske wazudi oite exit governor koredi aram shob nise dekha kormo ar keila shob account khara boso please kichoile na nise dekha kormo khage.
Okay, I'm just going to outline the process. So you should all have all residents entitled to vote should have one of these cards. Can I get you to hold your card up so I can just see? Yes, we've got a number of people ready to vote. Okay. I will be asking you to do that again when we've seen all 4 of the projects and you voted, because we'll be collecting those cards in. You have up to 10 points you can award every project. There may be more projects that you like better, and you might give them 10, and one that you think, I like it, but not that much. You can give them 3, 4, 5, 6, whichever you like, but you must give a vote for each project. The minimum you can give is 1, and the maximum is 10. But that's 10 for every project you can vote, or 1 for every project. It's entirely up to you. If you leave it blank, if there's a project you go, I really don't like that, I'm not voting for that, and you don't put a vote in there, we will round it up to 10, because we want it to be fair. So it's in your interest to vote for every single project, so that we get a fair representation of your views and priorities, and can ensure that the projects that are most needed, most wanted by the community, get their funding.
Afnara ke sesudi blue ota kahe te shop project bade afnara dosh taki please divide dosh oliga beshi balar oliga khom balar khali rakjona please, because it automatically dosh is equal. So afnara please carefully hunya afna shop project board.
Thank you. Each project that is putting an application will have 3 minutes to present. We are very strict about that 3 minutes. So Leoka is on the timer here, and Leoka, if you wouldn't mind handing up the cards, that's the first one to let the projects know when they can start. That's the second one to let you know that you've got a minute left, and that's the last one. Okay, thank you. She's Leoka's auditioning for airline hostess as we speak. So very skillfully. Okay. So you get strictly 3 minutes, and then the lovely Anika will come and give a 1-minute summary of each project, because we want to ensure that everybody in the room is informed about the project before they vote on the cards. And we're going to start that process very shortly. We will have a point at which we exchange cards. It will go quite quickly. And then at the end, when all the cards have been handed in, lunch is going to be served. You'll have time to network. I would like to encourage you to talk to all the other projects and network with one another at the lunch point, and then we will reveal the results. The bad news is that not every project will get funded today. And that's only because of the size of pot and the amount of projects going forward. The good news is that's not the end for those projects. Just because you didn't get funding this time round doesn't mean you should be put off of the process. It just means that community has prioritised, and at this point in time, those projects are their highest priority. There is funding coming next year, and those priorities may change. So please don't be put off if your project isn't successful. The success is that you've actually put a project together, and you're here, and you've worked with a team, and you care about the community. And the Public Health and NHS would like to encourage that going forward. So please don't take it as they didn't like me. It's just the priority that the community is choosing at this point in time.
Sajta proġettjoni bade afnara xob otak aktualja di bar amna yani mo bade kellek tħormu bade launch do ego afnara kiz il-mato afnarke project xoħta zika jo question answer ħora jo ar sinta ħorjona xob project unfortunately forsi ħajtana aske but next year chance taħbo so ita sad bezara jona next year inshallah time taħbo.
I'm going to ask, just at this point, if Yoko, would you stand up and turn round? So if, whether your project's successful or otherwise, Yoko is your facilitator for the area. Please do take today's opportunity and future opportunities to have a conversation with her. She would like to continue to support you going through. Thank you. Okay, so the first project that I'd like to invite up to speak to you for 3 minutes is the DCO Youth Project.
Hello? Is that a bit too loud? One second, is this okay? I think I get told that I put the mic right next to my mouth.
It's good.
Is that better? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so my name is Mirtazul Qureshi, and I'm a part of DCO Youth Club. And I want to start off my pitch by asking you guys a question. And that is, when are the only 2 times in the UK that it's people unite? Number 1 is anything related to the royal family. So whether it be the death of the Queen or the coronation of the King. And number 2 is when the England football team are on the world stage. I remember my friends and I were watching the game together, and Luke Shaw scored a goal. And we went outside and the whole country erupted. People were screaming, people were jumping, people throwing their beers, people ripping their t-shirts, and I saw some people ripping other people's t-shirts. So it's evident that football is not only a pillar of our society, but it's a pillar of the Barkantine area. And I'm sure that those who are my age and those who are older than me can agree that young people in this generation spend far too much time in their houses, in front of a screen, as opposed to going outside with their friends in the fresh air. And there is a huge difference between a conversation over the phone as opposed to a face-to-face interaction. Our organisation, DCO Youth Club, hosts a number of in-person projects, especially in the Barkantine area. But today we're here to showcase and talk about our football sessions. We host our football sessions 2 to 3 times a month at McDougall Park and usually get around 20 to 30 attendees during the summer. However, now that the winter has come, we're in a huge predicament. We usually host our sessions anywhere between 4 to 6 p.m, but now that the days have become shorter and the nights have become longer, this is no longer feasible. It is far too dark. No one can see where the ball is going, no one can see where they're running, and it is far too unsafe. We no longer want to play in the dark in the park. I remember a good friend of mine, Tayyib over here, was running for the ball and he ran into a tree. Not good. We need to continue hosting these sessions in an external pitch such as George Green's or Stepney Green AstroTurf, where there's level grounding, where there's floodlights and where there are boundaries. So there are those who are playing in the best experience. Once again, however, this comes at a hefty cost. With the help of your votes, we can use this funding to be able to facilitate high-quality sessions for 2 different demographics. Number 1 is kids aged between 11 to 16, and the next one is 16 plus. 3 to 4 times a month for 1 whole year. These sessions are a means for young people to come together, to get to know one another, and build a stronger community and to reduce crime in the Barkantine area. I remember when I was just an attendee, and I met my current friends such as the founder's son Yahya and Tayyib over here, through these football sessions. We got to know one another, we became very close, and we ended up travelling the world together. And who knows, maybe over the next few years, one of our Barkantine kids is going to become the next Harry Kane. And through them, football's finally going to come home. Thank you very much.
Thank you. In summary, Anika is just going to try to summarise that.
Sorry, I won't be able to do the stories, but Tarazikaira, Shaita Kishotter, young man, Mashatara football in Portasai, Vanessa, German double parko, but Tarasaira, Diazar Fondi, Tarabora pictures at the Saira, Sakana are safe for a tentalaki. Garotaki, Shulla for a tentalagi, or Shulla plus. Tarasaira, the Panchina Logamil Tahta, Tara, Helaita, Artra.
Thank you. Just to remind you, we are filming and we are taking pictures, but if you don't want to be included, we can fight out your faces. But to do so, we need to ensure you've got a little red sticker so that we can make sure that we don't include you in filming. So, the next project that is going to present is Digital Gardens.
This one is quite interesting. I don't know what's about now. I think I'm ready. Hi, I'm Sakshi, and the project name is Digital Garden. I'll give you a brief as to what it is. I'll also start with a couple of questions. Have you ever struggled to fill any online applications or online forms? Have you ever struggled to access free apps and not being able to get your answers, what you're looking for? Have you heard of anyone around who's fallen for an online scam or being an online scam victim? Have you ever felt that there's a need of online safety, digital safety, technology safety, for example, for our kids, for our elders, and for all of us? If yes, then I think you should listen to this carefully. I think what's happening around us is everything is becoming digital, and we can't escape that. But what we can do is be more mindful of the usage of the applications and have the skills to be able to at least deal with the day-to-day. So for example, accessing GP appointments, GP applications, because like banking applications and other things. So the problem is everything is becoming digital, but there's a lack of skills among us. So what with this initiative we're trying to do is, our intention is to empower our community with the essential IT technology and digital skills to perform the basic to complex tasks, and also to ensure that we are safe from online scams like these. Now, how do we intend to do this? I'll give you a couple of pointers as to what are we aiming at. So we'll hold digital literacy workshops where we have sessions which can cover, for example, the basic use of email, internet. It could be Excel, Word, where it really depends on what our community wants and what the participants are looking for. The second one is quite interesting as well. So we'll hold scam awareness sessions where we'll kind of try and depart the knowledge of how to avoid the common online scams and what you can do with your privacy settings and stuff like that to be able to protect yourself better. We'll also cover digital safety trainings to cover these specific points in terms of privacy settings, digital security, strong passwords and things like that. Or if a scam has happened, what can you do to kind of protect information that you have. We'll also hold practical assistance sessions where we can provide hands-on help with GP applications, for example, filling forms, online application, and even your individual technology challenges. The last one is my favorite, where we would not just end with these sessions. We'll try and empower, we'll build volunteers so that this can be an ongoing thing and not just a one-time thing. So basically we intend to empower people as well to be able to do it after the sessions gets over. And the feedback, we take feedback in terms of if you feel anything in the sessions is not going right or you want anything else to be included, that can be done. Thank you, that's my time.
Tara Zikaira, Diazar phone because Tara signed such a managed borrow manager as well. Shop down the online user, GP appointment, bank applications, shop the computer or laptop or telephone or lage. Tara shop workshop start for us and safety the parba. Is there confidence build for the parba? How very like for all of them. Any data leak, is there help from the parba? Tara also side as an digital literacy money, computer use for any, phone use for any, so kind of link for any or it's a scammer of Nara for Dina, so shop safe to
Thank you. The next project to present is Dar Asila House of Honey.
Hi. So, Dar Asila House of Honey. This initiative provides a safe and inclusive environment where women from diverse backgrounds come together to support mental health and well-being and build connections through the therapeutic art of creating healthy, low-calorie desserts and treats. What could the sessions include? 1. Guided dessert making workshops, step-by-step instruction on crafting healthy, low-calorie desserts and treats. 2. Nutrition education, tips on balancing flavours, nutritions, and while keeping these desserts healthy but wholesome. 3. Creative expression, opportunities to personalise recipes and explore creativity. We're going to use traditional recipes but alter them, making them healthy, less refined sugar, more natural sugars such as dates, fruits. 4. Group discussions, time to share stories, experiences and build connections in a supportive environment. 5. Mindfulness activities, incorporating mindfulness techniques to enhance focus and relaxation during the process of making and cooking these and preparing these lovely treats. Tasting and sharing, enjoying the desserts together to celebrate the teamwork and the creativity that was put in. And benefits of these sessions could include improved mental health, engaging in a calming hands-on activity reduces stress and boosts mood and confidence, building connections within the Barkantine area, encourages social bonding and reduces feelings of isolation and loneliness that a lot of women in this area may be affected, increased confidence, learning new skills, creating something delicious that fosters a sense of accomplishment. Healthier habits, promotes awareness of healthy eating and balanced nutrition. Creative outlet provides a safe space for self-expression through dessert, design and flavours. Mindful living encourages being present and enjoying the process, which can improve overall well-being. That's my pitch.
E-pitch Diazar for also Tara Kuzra are Italiga shop betting telagi from shop type of background. Tara side of betting that loneliness and tension and stress experience Hodra, Tara in a cushy I am a fight that Tara me time on it in a healthy way, Zahan of fruit that walk, decoration, mixing, bonding Hodra Harbai. Tara side a less sugar refined dessert making manaito, our positivity Tara increase from the side of women of all backgrounds in this area.
Thank you, thank you. The last project for this group of projects to pitch is the Somali poetry.
Hi. Our project is called the Somali Poetry Project. We've chose this project because, speaking from experience, our children, Somali culture is very rich in poetry, but for some reason our children, British-born children in here, have not learned the language. We've kind of like, from my own experience from my children, I haven't taught them the language. I speak to them Somali, they reply to me in English. I didn't see what the problem is, but as they got older and we've traveled back home, they've experienced a lot of isolation. They couldn't speak the language, they had issues, people making fun of them because of that, not the language. But so the reason we chose this project is to make a change and teach the children the rich, Somali rich culture and poetry and the language. So through the poetry, it would help the children to learn their mother tongue language and connect with cultural heritage. The project will empower women, especially mothers, and their children who are isolated at home most of the time while the children watching games. Instead of watching games, come out of the house, get together, while the children are learning their heritage and language. The women can have a laugh and just have a chat, just socializing as well at the same time. That doesn't stop other communities joining in, because it has to be social inclusion, other communities knowing about our culture, learning about poetry. And Somali language used to be called language of oral. So I have a book by our most famous poet called Havrawi. This is a lot of his poets, and here you can have a look later on. And this is the kind of stuff we want to teach the children. This one is translated in English, so if you don't speak it will translate in English, and you can understand the richness of the language. So if I can just read a little bit section. And by the way, the Somali language was only written in 1972, so it's quite new. Hadrawi wrote this, and he says, through the fixing of his spelling, my language is delivered, my difficulty is done with, I'm freed from every hindrance, set in the old orthography of our economy foundation. It defends against all defects in the nonsense of our nation. It underwrites and defines. I must be devoted to Somali, developed through Somali, create within Somali. I must rid of poverty and give myself my own mother tongue. That's my pitch.
Thank you. So that is your last of your 4 projects. It now is your turn to write down your vote for each project. As soon as you have done that, could you please... Okay, so the next project to present, project number 5, is Barkantine Wellbeing Roof Garden.
Okay, no worries, extra time. Thank you everyone. So we are presenting the Barkantine Clinic Roof Gardens today. My name is Jack, I'm from a charity called Seeds for Growth. This is Aysel, local resident. We're here with Anne, who's a local resident too, and Rita, my colleague. I'm just going to very briefly present the project outline, and Aysel's going to share a little bit about her experience gardening Barkantine. But basically what we have applied for funding for is for an upgrade for the Barkantine Clinic roof gardens. So far we're on a shoestring budget. We have built 5 small planters up on the roof. So the Barkantine Clinic, for those who don't know, is just down the road. It's the health centre. There are about 12 very sunny roof gardens, and we would like to build 5 new planters up there and run horticultural classes for local residents. This would be monthly gardening clubs, And yeah, all sorts of different workshops about growing vegetables, composting, that kind of thing. Yeah, we had our opening the other day for the very small roof garden that exists at the moment. But yeah, the idea really is to have the projects for staff of the Barkantine Clinic, local residents who want to improve their horticultural skills, and for patients at the clinic as well. We know there's a need for local food growing capacity. People have been talking about growing fresh local food, and this is something we hope to support locally. But yeah, I saw maybe if you want to just introduce yourself and talk about why you got involved in gardening. And
I'm a very new one and I never done a gardening before. So I started, I'm retired and I am at the time. And I thought socializing, meeting people, getting to know the area, what's happening. I think it was nice. And also helping out fresh fruit and vegetables, and sort of going back to the nature, especially the environment that we live around. It's concrete building. It's nice to get involved with the earth and the ground and the plants. Personally, I was so scared of the herbs and I couldn't stand them. Now I understand with them. There is herbs and the plants, what is the weed and what is the herbs. So learning all this sort of basic skill about the nature, and it is very uplifting and meeting people, and I believe it's going to be very good for the community to supply this. Thank you.
And with the last 10 seconds, I'll say we hope that it will improve health, physical and mental well-being locally, because there's nothing quite like being outside, moving around and connecting with others. But yeah. Okay, thank you.
Anika gave me a panic. She moved seats and I thought, where is she to translate? But she was over there.
İtalya'da Barkantine practice garden energy. Tarasayda diyazafon shop community eklogeya full fruit vegetable ekloge grow hatta friendship manekta connection nakta healthy ta. Tarasayda zene zemanush Barkantine area tahon staff GP practice o eleze patient tahon GP practice o eklogeya healthy or affordable honey grow hatta sayda nizarat taki safne nizedeta farmahne kita touch kita grow ar
Okay, thank you. The next project to present is football coaching and lunch for Docklands Youth.
Good afternoon. My project is about setting up a summer football camp for 13 weeks this coming summer. Once a week, we hope to offer a coaching and a field for the kids in the Barkantine and adjacent Docklands area. With 3 primary schools there and the St Andrew's Wharf Youth Club, I'm confident that there is enough space for this project. And in regards to that youth club, they've expressed interest in seeing this through, and I'm going to have them as my foster company. Should that go through, they, with their youth, their experience with running youth activities, will be able to help with with making sure this camp runs smoothly. They also have a football court for small-scale games, but it is the John McDougall Memorial Garden Park that we think will be large enough to house up to 2 10-a-side games side by side. So what we would need as per our request for this funding would be a coach which we would hire to provide a professional level of training for those who wish, for the youth that want to take their football up to a competitive level. Equipment, including cones, bibs, footballs, and goalposts. And any leftover from the £1,650 that we're requesting would go towards lunch, providing lunch for these kids so that we don't send them back to their parents with ravenous appetites after having them run around for an hour or three. Hope that you would consider this proposal as for not least because your children or the children of the Barkantine area and Docklands would really like to play football competitively, and also for the benefit to developing minds that such exercise would provide, the socializing aspect, the learning of cooperation that football provides, as well as bringing the community of youth that might not otherwise inter-school community. Thank you.
Thanks Kaida for 1,000 social function for summer camp football lagi for a time after Kitarabosh lagi from 7 Mills Primary School, St. Andrew's Walking Centre, St. Edmunds and Onham Wharf, Sir John McDowell Parkers for Borozaga lagi for a time to Farbaz, Tara Side coach is in it for a time to professional way football to Farba, as the Fosha Baki Roy Tara Side for a time to lunch Kaveta, for a time to actually qualify Kalani, but it's a hobby now for your professional way to Tara excitement out of our bar to shoot the
Okay, so someone is giving me a challenge here. I'm going to try and say this without kind of tripping over my own tongue. It's balance, bites and bonds.
Hi again. So I've been living here in the Barkantine area for over 20 years, and I've noticed that there's a rise in need for the project I'm about to talk about. So before I start, I'd just like hands up for anyone who knows of families around this area with children with additional needs. Just a quick hands up if anyone knows. Yeah. So it's quite a few hands up there. Just shows you that there is definitely a need for a project like this. So, balance, bites and bonds. But first, families with children who have additional needs face major challenges getting the right support. In 2023, Education Health Care Plan appeals rose by 24% to 13,000, with over 28% of that due to local authorities refusing assessments. That's in East London. Autism is a key issue. 45% of appeals involve autistic children, yet only 32% of plans address their needs. These numbers unfortunately show a broken system, urgently needs reform and better funding. Going forward from this, these figures underline that many families with children with additional needs are not adequately supported, despite the increasing demand. Addressing these gaps requires systematic reform and resource allocation. Although it may seem like a straightforward point, highlighting the overwhelming demand for support for families and children who have additional needs is absolutely critical. It underscores the urgency and significance of addressing these gaps in care, not only to ease the day-to-day struggles of these families, but ensure that every child has access to the resources and opportunities they need to thrive. This message is central to driving meaningful action and change. My project idea is an initiative designed to bring together families with children who have special educational needs or additional needs together, offering support to navigate the challenges of the cost of living crisis. This program emphasizes creating healthy, affordable meals, with the idea of zero waste, with a focus on involving children in the cooking process to help them discover and help them to enjoy nutritious foods that they might have typically otherwise avoided. So sometimes a lot of these families do face a lot of challenges with children with additional needs, getting them to eat healthier, getting them to try out new foods because they're so sometimes they've put their heart on a specific meal and they'll have the same meal every day. But this workshop, this project, will encourage those children to get their hands into making these healthy meals and encourage them to try out the new fruits, the vegetables, whatever. Thank you.
این پروژه بولسن کزرا 2004 ارتara sayra families ata foroten the special educational needs or disabilities tahoy خبر مشروعی زای ترا خانیر ده خورانی کن خانی ترا دی تسایرا سترا سایرا این فاندینگ دی family خال اخلاقی دلایی تا ترا فروتین تلاقی خانی preparation خورانی specialist advice پاوا ده easy اتفاقی ترا گفته کی برای ترا try اتفاق با نویا زنیش نویا خانی ترا healthy lifestyle improve کنی.
Thank you. Last but not least, we now have the Urban Unity Food Hub. Sorry, I'm going to have to rush you.
So I'm helping with the pitch today. So I'm here on behalf of Urban Community Food Hub. We've kind of helping this great team of people that have been doing this sort of food hub service for the needy and vulnerable in the area. We've provided a space for them, but the work that they do at the moment, what they're actually applying for is to get help to actually pick up all of these sort of all the food. What they do is they collect all the reduced items. So I'll start with there. They collect all the reduced items from the likes of Tesco's, Asda's, lots of different places in Canary Wharf, Eastern stretches now down to the Greenwich O2, and then they bring it all back to this food hub where we distribute it from this local hub, which is literally just around the corner. And it goes out to many vulnerable residents, but it also gets delivered to the ones that are disabled, unable to come out, and also there's a lot of vulnerable residents that have actually got various issues of why they can't come out, so it's not just to do with the cost of living crisis as well. Peter, is there any other bits that I'm missing in terms of what else you do? Because I would just like to explain what it is these guys actually do. So they're all volunteers. They have no vehicles or anything at the moment. Everything is carried pretty much in their hands. They collect it from all over and come at very late times at night as well to do it, which is why we've tried to help them out with this as well. The funding that they're applying for is to actually get hold of a bigger fridge so they can actually store these items in. They're also applying for food hygiene certificates. It's then going to link up with Fair Share. The idea of that is to actually collect the food at a more sociable time, and it's then moving on to actually collect more fresh food as well. So there'll be fresh food distributions coming from the hub, and this funding will allow them to do that and store the food correctly, actually take more food in, and then actually apply for the likes of rental vehicles to collect more food in the area so we can distribute it to more people, and actually, also save on their legs, which is health, and I know we need to do this health and well-being thing, and we should be walking more and things like that, but honestly guys, you'll hear trolleys certain times moving at around 11 o'clock at night, and that is these guys travelling back with the food from all over and to give it out to vulnerable people. So that's what we're applying for today, is that funding to help them, to help the community more, and empower people to actually come and get involved. We'll link up with other networks as well. But there's lots of big things to come from this as well. We can hopefully get the food out to more and more people. But yeah, that's it.
Urban community food hub. Italiga foran surgery, nasar falaya, by Barkantine surgery. It's a volunteer food hub. The shop volunteer, there are actiga Tesco, Astra, Sakanahanga Tase, reduced honey annoying, and there are homeless Angelagi Dane, and I let me Ayani Tafarba, as a Kamashko Kibara Tafarina, disabled Monoshnaila, are additional needs, Taragia Dane. Tara 2000 ফোন গুজরাতে তারা বড় ফ্রিজ একটা আনতে পারবা আর eventually তারা ফ্রেশ হানি আনতে পারবা খালি রিডিউসড হানি না তারা সব ভলেন্টিয়ার তারা যেসা সময় লেইছে তারা যাইরা তারা আটিয়াররা তারা সাইরা তারা সাপোর্ট তারা ফ্রেশ হানি আনতে পারবা আর নরমাল টাইমে তারা দিতে পারবা আর সবরে ইনভলভ করতে চাইরা আইবা লাগে হেল্প করতে
Thank you. That's the last of the projects to present. Can I ask you to make sure you score all of your projects, and when you've done so, could you hold up your voting card so that it can be collected? Oh gosh, people have made their minds up very quick, haven't they? So we'll collect those in. I'll just check. Okay, when you've handed in your voting card, very shortly the hatch will open and you can go and get yourself something nice to eat. Please don't go because while you're having your food, we'll be collecting the last of the votes, and then we'll have a big reveal, and you'll get to know who got the funding for this. But what I need to say really importantly, there's one here, Barbara, what I really need to say very importantly, I'm very used to getting up and speaking to large audiences, as you can guess. But for you guys who have worked with me over these past couple of months, standing up here and presenting is quite daunting. So I would like to say a really big thank you and a really big well done to all of you. You've been amazing. All that remains is for us to eat. So please, form an orderly queue. Card. So if you can hold your card up, and if I can ask the people collecting cards, if you could do that for us now, please. You need your, have you got the exchange cards? If you haven't got a pen, there's a pen in the back of the seat in front of you. Okay, so don't give up your card unless you're getting another card in return.
আপনার কার্ড দিও না until green card আপনারা আনতে পারবেন
So when you've filled out the vote on your card, please hold it up. We've got a few over this side. If we can exchange cards, please.
Go now, then other project will get the maximum.
Has everyone got a blue voting card yet?
Yeah.
Got two more.
How can you vote for the second one?
cards.
No, you have to see the pages and then vote.
Can I just double check, can you hold up to show that you've got a blue card? All the blue cards? Perfect. Thank you. Okay, we're now going to go on to the next 4 projects to present. Okay, are we all settled now? Are we ready? Sorry, technical glitch. We'll be with you in a sec.
So your phones will be allocated for the next 4 projects, 10 minutes. Okay. Yes, telephone only.
Hi there, sorry, technical glitch, all sorted. Well, let's begin. Okay, so, right, can we make sure everyone's seated and ready? Hi there, people at the back, sorry, can I ask you to come and sit, because we've got presentations that need to take place and it's quite visually disruptive to someone who's presenting at the front to see people moving in the background. So if I can get you to take a seat as soon as possible, then we'll begin. Thank you. Okay, we ready to begin? Perfect. Okay.